Welcome to NBA Nerd Highlights, where instead of fast break dunks and ankle breakers, we focus on the nerdier stuff. The high IQ passes, defensive rotations, beautiful set plays. Let's start off with Asar Thompson guarding Jalen Brunson here, and he gets switched off of him, but he's going to ignore this cut by Landry Shamet and help shut off this Brunson penetration, and now has to recover back to Shamet. He somehow gets there to take away the first look, but Landry creates some space with a nice step back, and it doesn't matter because Asar is sending that into the bleachers. We got to see that one in full speed. This guy is freaky and he will be returning later in this video. Really fun possession in the Nuggets Thunder game where Brown is the primary matchup on Shea, but this pick and roll causes a switch, and now Brown is just going to totally ignore Jay Will and stay to shut off this drive. So Shea swings it and the Nuggets do a great job scrambling out. There's no advantage, so it's just right back to Shea, and again they try to get Brown off of him, but he's not really switching off, and then fully commits to the double on the drive. And watch Shea go right into Murray's chest, spin into Brown, and somehow hold onto the ball, not get tripped up by all these feet, and gets it to McCain. Now, Cam Johnson is splitting the difference between Caruso and McCain, but with McCain spotting up like 4 feet behind the line, Cam really has no chance to bother the shot on the closeout. McCain buries it. What a pickup for the Thunder. What a play by Shea. What a fun defensive strategy by the Nuggets. What a possession of basketball. This Celtics-Lakers game had playoff energy. Ugo pressuring LeBron the whole way, and LeBron tries to turn the corner, but look at the stunt from Jordan Walsh. Get 2 hands on the ball, and if he doesn't do that, I think LeBron might just have a layup, but he has to gather the ball, and now the help is there, so he dumps it off instead. And now Ugo jumps at the pump fake, and I think Walsh jumps early too, but then finds the ball on the way down. That is an incredible play. White wins the loose ball, and Jordan Walsh throw a better pass. That was the nerd highlight of the year. Very upset about that turnover, but great defensive sequence from him nonetheless. Just beautiful. I really like this ATO from the Knicks where the Spurs switch this first screen, and then as this second screen hits, Josh Hart is going to flash and Jalen Brunson's going to cut looking for the ball. This is called blind pig, and notice Wemby looking at Brunson calling something out to Fox, but up top Champagnie chases over and Castle switches onto the ball, so Cat slips free. Wemby's distracted and late. Dunk for Towns. Beauty by Mike Brown. Multiple options there. I really like what I've seen from Bones Highland this season. Watch him here talking to Ant, telling him to get to the free throw line and then run off this exit screen. Now this whole side is occupied, and Jaden McDaniels comes up to set a screen and slips out of it, draws Jabari Walker, wide open 3 for Io. Just beautiful basketball, great execution. Bones running the show. Okay, the Wolves were playing without Naz Reid or Rudy Gobert, so McDaniels had a stretch at the 5. He's guarding the pick and roll in a drop here, which is just strange to see him in this position, and Maxey gets by Io pretty easily there, so Jaden steps up, and maybe Maxey should throw this toward the rim, I don't know, but he goes with the bounce pass, and now Jaden flips around and meets the big man up top, and he might as well be Rudy Gobert. What in the perfect drop coverage possession was that, and what in the special guest appearance is this? We have Carson from Nerd Sesh here to break down a few plays.
I want to start with one of my favorite plays of the year here. Watch Jordan Walsh perfectly time this corner crash and basically hit Colin Sexton with a pass rush move. He stutter steps, plants that outside foot, and then tosses him aside with a swim move to get back inside for a well-earned putback dunk. This is just a perfect encapsulation of what has made the Celtics great all year. And dare I say Sexton was not ready to be in pass protection mode, but this is quintessential Jordan Walsh and 2026 Celtics stuff. Nikola Jokic and Christian Brown have a telepathic connection. There was a 4-minute stretch against the Warriors in which Jokic assisted Brown 5 times. He hits a jumping no-look touch pass to Brown here, who never stops sprinting in transition and is rewarded for it. Then here, as Horford helps off of Brown to double Jokic, even as Jokic spins into the double, he finds a way to launch this over top to create a wide open 3 for his boy. This is another transition connection where Brown is fed for sprinting the length of the floor as nobody picks him up, and Jokic perfectly leads him with another no-looker. Here, they're setting up for an inverted pick and roll, but with GP2 playing way up on Brown, he simply slips to the bucket to punish the overplay as Jokic perfectly threads this bounce pass between the 2 defenders. And now, Brown is handling with Jokic as the screener, and Melton's reckless swipe takes him out of the play, and with a 2-on-1, these two are playing with their food. Brown to Jokic, right back to Brown. That's 4 layup assists and a wide open 3 assisted in 4 minutes, coming out of 4 entirely different situations.
We have more from Carson later, but Keon Ellis recently joined the Cavs, and OG wants the ball on the low block here, but Keon's battling, and this catch ends up near the corner. Keon tends to swipe at everything like this. He swipes again, and that one gives OG the lane, but Ellis doesn't give up and gets him from behind. Mobley helping here probably gets OG to change his shot a little bit too, but Cavs are getting interesting now. That's a good team, man. Okay, we need some context here. Josh Hart is a great transition player, and he has this move where he's dribbling with his left hand and then goes pound dribble 1-2 off the wrong foot for a righty layup. This kind of makes it look like he wants to finish on the left side, and also switching up the footwork just makes this harder for defenders to time their jump. But check this one out from a few weeks ago. He's dribbling with that left hand on the right side, and Tobias Harris isn't trying to time up a contest. Instead, he's waiting for Hart to bring the ball up so he can swipe at it. That makes Hart hold on to it just a little bit longer, which means Asar can eat it up and throw it off the glass. This is the first time I've seen Hart get blocked on this move. I'm sure it's happened before, but that's usually an auto bucket, just not against Detroit. Derek White's a walking nerd highlight. Watch him right here. Shot goes up. He's crashing. Vando grabs it, but White doesn't stop and takes it away. He tries to throw it off Vando, but it stays in play, and now it's just a little touch lob to Vooch. And now watch Hugo Gonzalez seeing Jake LaRavia start down the floor and think, oh yeah, I should pressure this. And then he cuts off this first angle, and you can't be loose with the ball around him. Easy steal for Hugo. Unfortunately, could not finish it off with a make, but man, these Celtics are fun to watch.
AJ Dybantsa gets a lot of hype, and deservedly so, but there's one very specific thing that's arguably his most unique trait that we don't talk about enough: his strides. Look at this possession. AJ gathers above the three-point line, gets around his defender, and glides to the rim in 2 steps. That is absurd. This play is just crazy. He pump fakes, gets past his man, and covers like 9 feet of ground with 1 hop here. He took off just inside the 3-point line and ends up with a little 11-foot jumper here, somehow still perfectly on balance after taking the biggest step you've ever seen. Don't mind if he just euros around you here or pump fakes here at the free throw line to then step through and get a layup. This dude has Monstar abilities. He is an actual alien, and a lot of it starts with his strides.
Thank you, Carson. AJ Dybantsa is fun, but I'm actually not sure if he's as fun as the Charlotte Hornets right now. Kobe White is trying to switch on to Dillingham here, and Josh Green is supposed to take Giddey, but then both Dillingham and Green fall to the ground. Now there's space for Giddey to attack, but watch Musa aware of the ball the whole time, rotate down, give me that one, but it goes right to Okoro, and then on the scramble, the corner's open, so Musa and Williams start toward it, leaving Giddey under the rim, but then Musa takes that one away too. Oh my god, he was out of bounds there, but they get the stop. That is the good stuff, folks. Wow. The Pistons just live on nerd highlights. Jalen Duren is shading toward the ball here and then gets clipped by a screen, and Duncan Robinson switching on to Wemby. Probably not good, but Ron Holland sinks to tag Wemby and understands that as soon as he does that, the ball's going to the corner, so he sprints back out and cuts off the driving angle. That's a freaky closeout. Here it is in full speed, and he's not done yet, because here he is on the inbound switching on to Keldon. That is not a great pass, and Ron takes it away. Unfortunately, they don't get the finish on the break, but Ron Holland just single-handedly stopped the Spurs from even getting a shot off in 3 different ways. I love this guy. All right, we will finish this off with a low light. Paul Reed has been an absolute monster this season. He jumps on this first fake, but then swats the second one out of there, and now he's running the floor, getting to the front of the rim. Cade throws a dangerous entry pass, and B-Ball Paul bats it away and comes up with it. Now he's got 2 guys on him, and Javonte Green makes a great cut, and oh my god, what a pass! Paul Reed or Nikola Jokic. And then check out Javonte. Are you kidding me? That was the defining sequence of Paul Reed's career, and it ends in a missed layup. Honestly though, it's hard to call this a low light because it's so good from Paul Reed. Nice block into the crafty tap away, lets Vassell run by him into the sick pass. I mean, B-Ball Paul is that guy. But that is going to do it for today's video. As usual, any likes or comments are hugely appreciated. Please remember to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.